If I had to boil our 5 years of research down into a single takeaway, it would be that digital transformation is more about will than it is about skill. When discussing our work, I often bring up the work of Stanford psychologist Carroll, who writes about the growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe skills can be developed with work and effort, which leads to greater success. In contrast, people with a fixed mindset believe that skills are innate, and success or failure is associated with external forces. This distinction between a fixed and growth mindset describes a key difference between companies who are successfully addressing digital transformation and those who are struggling. Our results show that the growth mindset can also happen at the organizational level. For example, we asked people whether their organization would be in a stronger or in a weaker position going forward as a result of digital disruption, and why. People who reported that their organization would be in a stronger position indicated that the main reason why was that their organizations were developing the requisite digital capabilities to allow them to compete. In other words, a growth mindset led them to develop the needed competencies. People who reported that they believed their organization would be in a weaker position going forward indicated that the primary reason was because market forces were working against them. In other words, a fixed mindset led them to believe that digital disruption was largely a force that was outside of their control. I hear elements of this fixed mindset all the time. Oh, we're just not a digital company, or I'm just not technologically savvy person. People with a fixed mindset feel that digitalness is an inherent capability of the person or the company. People with a growth mindset believe that these skills can be learned. Interestingly, leadership effectiveness was reported as an important factor for both those who thought they would be stronger and those who thought they would be weaker. So the mindset of an organization's leaders is a key factor in the organization's response to digital disruption. I've heard many leaders blame external influences like short-term Wall Street expectations as an excuse for a lack of digital transformation. But I've also seen enough examples of strong digital leadership at traditional companies to know that those are just excuses for a fixed mindset. Companies who are succeeding with digital transformation are those who have the will to do it. This isn't rocket science in many cases. Companies that report being more digitally mature provide their employees with more resources for digital initiatives, more opportunity to innovate, and are supportive of employees' efforts to work in new ways. After presenting the key results of my research, I often get the question, how is this different than previous eras of organizational change? My first response is usually, in many ways it isn't. But I'm surprised at how many executives forget the basics in the face of digital disruption, and they need reminding. My second response then is, but it's all happening so much faster now that companies need new approaches to continual learning. The capability of change needs to be baked in to your organization's DNA. Before, change was something you did. Today, it needs to be part of who you are. In other words, the process of digital transformation is really about developing a growth mindset among your leaders and at the organizational level so you can develop the digital capabilities to compete. It's more about will than it is about skill.